With Conor McGregor's upcoming fight against Dustin Poirier now official for UFC 257, he recently posted some new sparring footage of his training camp. Dana White at the UFC Vegas 15 post-fight press conference gave his thoughts on Mike Tyson's performance against Roy Jones Jr.
Listen, man, you guys have been asking me questions leading up to this thing, and I didn't want to say anything negative because I love Tyson and he's a good friend of mine. I was nervous. I thought that, he's 56 years old. Time is undefeated, okay? Time takes us all down. And one of the things that I was worried for Mike is that he has this incredible aura still, and 56 years old is fighting is a young man's game. All that being said, he looked awesome tonight. I was blown away by how good he looked, and I was worried about, Roy. Roy's 51 years old, but Roy's been way more active than Tyson has been. But Roy actually got more tired than Mike tonight, which was shocking. And I'm happy for him. I hope they both made $1 zillion. And it exceeded my expectations.
With Kevin Holland testing positive for COVID-19, Marvin Vettori has stepped up and will face Jack Hermansson in next week's main event. Brett Okamoto broke the news and posted this on his Twitter saying, per sources, Marvin Vettori has signed a bout agreement to replace Kevin Holland against Jack Hermansson next week's main event. Hermansson deserves credit for rolling with all these changes. Michael Bisping on the Believe in Me podcast gives his thoughts on MMA promotions refusing to sign Anderson Silva.
I don't know. I wasn't privy to the conversation between Scott Coker, Bare Knuckle Boxing, ONE FC, all these promotions that are turning him down, right? I don't know what the reasons were. I will guess what my reason is. Because a lot of them, they're all saying, love Anderson, respect Anderson, and that might be true. It might be true, right? And they don't want to. They don't want to exploit the name of Anderson Silva's health in terms of just getting viewership and hits and clicks and buys, right? That might be true, but I suspect it's got a lot to do with the cost that Anderson Silva has. How much it costs to get that guy under contract. Because the UFC paid that guy millions every time he fought. And I guarantee he wants maybe not quite as much, but he wants, for one fight, he wants 2 million or 1.5 million or 2.5. Yeah, he wants a lot of money. He's not going in there for cheap. No way. And they've said, you know what? Rather than come out and say we can't afford him, they'll take the moral high ground and say that. I don't know if that's true. I could be way off. I'm just saying that's my theory. Or it's a thought that pops into my head right now. We've given it no pre-consideration. So it's not my thought. It's what I'm saying right now, this second, with no research done whatsoever. But I don't think I'm that far off. I honestly believe that Bellator don't want to pick up Anderson Silva because Bellator, number one, probably could afford him. They're owned by Viacom. They have extremely deep pockets and they could afford him, right? Okay, obviously they're looking at the cost versus reward, how many views they can get and all that. But also they know, what happened. They know he's lost his last few. They know that Dana said this and that and the other. And in terms of a PR move, maybe not the best PR move. My comment was more directed at bare knuckle, to be honest, right? Because I don't know the people in bare knuckle. They might be Christians, they might be the nicest people, they might be like they might have the best morals ever. But I'm just saying, any company that's out there comes of bare knuckle fighting championships would take Anderson Silva in a heartbeat if they could afford it. Call me stupid. With respect to Anderson Silva, his time in the sun is done. It's over. And for the money that he would cost, it's just not worth it to Bellator. And then also it would further enforce this view that Bellator picks up UFC, for want of a better word, rejects. It's not rejects. You know what I'm saying? Well, what's a better word? But you know what I'm saying, Harrison, right? Because that's what a lot of people say. Oh, it's UFC's graveyard, right? That's where UFC fighters go for a career when they're done with the UFC, when the UFC don't want them. And that would further enforce that, right? And Scott Coker and Bellator, and again, I don't watch a lot of Bellator, but I do watch the big fights. I love MMA, I love combat sports. And they're trying to build a proper league. You know what I mean? I'm not kissing their ass, but it's just true, you know. I think in this situation, because it's Anderson Silva and so much was made of it, right? And then Dana saying, I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing that. And it was the right move by Dana.
I know you guys done heard the fights off. They say I got COVID. I think I got a common cold. I feel like $1 million. Shit, if all goes well, I'll be back at y'all motherfuckers December 12th.
All right, we're halfway through the Century ride. Smashing.
We lost the main event. Anthony Smith, Devin Clark, still going to be a banger.
Daniel Cormier on the DC Helwani show previews Tony Ferguson versus Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, sometimes getting to the best place takes you in a roundabout way, right? But eventually we come to this one, and can anyone complain about Charles Oliveira versus Tony Ferguson? That's a fantastic fight, and it also gives Oliveira a chance to really move himself even further up the division. There was a time where Charles Oliveira was a kid that could submit you, he could beat anybody, but he also could lose to anybody. He has shown now a maturity, an advancement of his skill level, and he's in there with the best fighters in the world. The fight against Kevin Lee, I mean, I gotta be honest, when the fight was booked, I was like, man, Kevin Lee, too big, too physical. Oliveira used to fight 145. I don't know if he'll be able to handle him. Got the victory. Tony Ferguson seems to be a style nightmare for him, at least for the old Charles Oliveira, because the guy with pressure, the guy that would make him fight harder than he wanted to, the guy that can withstand everything that he threw, usually would kind of like, almost like a tidal wave, would just overtake Charles Oliveira. He gets through this, it shows that the evolution is complete. He is now a guy that can go with anybody, and those mental lapses that he would have before are of the past. And it's shown on the 7-fight win streak. It's shown in the times that he's had to bounce back, but he's never been in a fight with anyone like Tony Ferguson. Ferguson is as gifted and as good as anyone that he's ever been in the octagon with. It's going to be a great fight. Those guys are going to bring it from start to finish. There's going to be a lot of blood, and it's going to be fun. I can't wait. I'm calling it.
You got him.
Come on, Jay.
Come on,
Go
Jay.
high.
Oh,
Get that motherfucker. Get that motherfucker, man. Come on. Oh, he pussing out.
Get him out,
He
Jay.
pusses out.
His guard's down.
Hey you all, I'm just leaving the gym right now. I just did one more great training, one more great week of training, so I'm feeling great. We are 2 weeks away from my next fight, and I can't wait, man, to be there again, fighting, giving 100% of me to get the good result, to get the victory. I wish you all a great weekend, and God bless you.
If you guys are at home, you get an opportunity to tune into Fox News. Check it out right now. I'll be on live.